the induction date comes. I go to the hospital, get all hooked up. They check me. They're like, oh yeah, you're ready to have this baby.
Yeah.
So they start, I'm doing, I think they actually just broke my water right away. They're like, we're not even going to give you Pitocin because you're already dilated. We're just going to break your water, see how it goes. They break my water. I start getting contractions really hard, and I'm like, okay, I'm really feeling these. It's getting really painful. Like I'm ready for it. And I'd already told the OBGYN that I wanted an epidural. Like that was clear from the beginning.
Yeah.
Time comes and I'm like, okay, I think I'm ready for that epidural. And they're like, no, you don't need it. Uh-huh. I'm like, no, but I do need it. I do. You're strong. You're strong. They don't speak any English, mind you. My doctor's like not there yet. I'm like, no, I know I'm strong, but like, I want it. Yeah. I need it. So they were like not having it. So finally I was like, no, please, like give me the epidural.
Yeah.
Like, okay, finally I talk him into it. So the anesthesiologist comes in, and hilarious guy. He did luckily speak some English.
Yeah.
And so I have to get the epidural as I'm going through contractions. I'm sitting on the bed. He does it, but they do it different there. And I don't know enough about epidurals to say why.
Yeah.
But it was a bag that had the medicine in it, and it had a button. And every 20 minutes, it would release 5 milliliters of pain medication.
Okay.
If I needed more before that 20 minutes was up, I could press the button and it would give me 1 milliliter.
Okay.
However, if I did that, it would push the 20 milliliters by like 5 minutes.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's like, you don't really want to do that because then you're just going to push your like big set of dose of medication. Yeah. So I always like try to not, but like that, 15-minute mark, I'm like, oh, these are getting bad again. So I went through that for about an hour. And I was probably about an hour, and or maybe about an hour and a half.
Okay.
And then I get the dose of the 20 milliliters, and I'm feeling pretty good. Well, then like the bag starts to run out, like the bag's gone, so it's time to replace the bag.
Yeah.
So they come in, okay, we need to replace the bag. Let's check you. At this point, my contractions are getting pretty strong because I haven't had a dose in 20 minutes at this point. Let's check you. I'm like, okay. You are ready. We see the hair, we see the head. You are ready. I'm like, but the bag, like, we don't have time. I'm like, no, okay. So they get the doctor in there. They just start like, you don't get any more epidural. I'm like, okay. And it is, I mean, you would know this better as a nurse. I think it was like a walking epidural. Is that
I'm sure.
something? Because the whole time I could get up. They never did a catheter. I never had a bed. Like if I needed to go to the bathroom, I could get up.
Yeah.
Even when I had the full epidural. So
yes.
Anyway, so I gave birth without. I mean, I had epidural in me, so it wasn't full pain.
Yeah,
but
I
could feel everything.
Which so you with your first you had an epidural, you couldn't feel anything. Okay, so what did you feel more in control with like your pushing this time?
100%.
Okay.
With Zaylee, I had no idea what I was doing. Yeah. I knew I was pushing hard, and they're like, "Wow, you're great at pushing."
Yeah.
But like I couldn't feel anything.
Yeah.
They're all of a sudden like, "Okay, she's here," and I'm like, "Okay, I did it."
Yeah,
but no, I couldn't feel anything. And then I couldn't walk they wouldn't let me walk for probably 8 hours after I gave birth to her. And when I did finally get up to walk to use the bathroom, peed everywhere.
Yeah.
Couldn't control anything. I had no control of my bladder. I'm like, well, this is terrible.
Yeah.
And even to get her out of the bed was so difficult because I couldn't feel the whole bottom half of my body.
Yes.
So it's so different with Kay's. The minute after I gave birth, I got up and I never had a catheter, never had a bedpan, got up and used the bathroom.
Yeah.
I felt so powerful, like pushing him out. I think truthfully, that was my favorite birth.
Yeah.
Because I was able to feel it a little bit to,
Yeah.
To feel like holy crap, this is painful.
Tons of pain, but like,
just took the edge off. I
think.
Yeah. And I only had 2 pushes and he was out. It was amazing.
Yeah.
But I remember, sitting there looking at Brandon, like, okay, push, and I'm pushing, okay, one more push. And Brandon just, go. And just that like strong, powerful, like so empowering as a woman to like really feel that like I pushed him out.
Yeah.
So I love actually like that was, which is so funny that like in Lithuania, it was my favorite birth.
Yeah.
Without epidural,
Yeah.
But it was amazing. And so 2 pushes, he was out, super healthy, got up and walked around. My recovery after, I'm telling you, I don't know if it was because I wasn't on the epidural so long.
Yeah.
Or the Pitocin so long. I don't know what it was. After my first birth in Utah, I had the most horrible raging headache. I was like, this is like when druggies like need their drugs or something. I'm like, why is my head hurting so bad? And for days I was just like, out of it. Recovered so fast. Okay, it's just like only 2 hours being on medicine versus a whole day 100%. Was such a difference. Such a difference. So my recovery was incredible.
Yeah, no,
didn't tear at all.
Yeah, and I feel like, I mean, that's more common, especially the tearing part, when you're not on an epidural, because you can control it more. Like, yes, you were on an epidural, but you could still feel it. And when you can feel what you're doing with pushing, it makes such a difference.
Totally.
So I think, you know, that's kind of nice. I think that like it's actually really common in the UK to do the walking epidural.
Okay.
It's not super common in other places, but I think you can actually ask for it in a lot of places. People just don't know that they can do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I had no idea.
Yeah.
I'm like, why?
It's like either epidural or not. But yeah, I think there's, I mean, I don't know if it's every hospital in every place. But I feel like you should always ask, because the worst thing they can say is no.
We don't,
because of that reason, it's like you can control it. You can still move around better than when you have a regular epidural, you know?
Maybe it doesn't completely take the pain away, but it takes it enough to where you can do it. It's manageable, very manageable.